Good morning. And here we are with the Torah Moments. I got something bothering me, really eating at me. Why don't people believe the Bible? And I've been kind of searching this for a while. And I think it's because they don't want to know the truth. And I know it's a big thing, but let me start off by telling you that I won't be using too many scriptures this morning because this is my moment of frustration. You see, I think there are two things in the universe, only two things in the universe that cannot lie: God and math. I'm a numbers guy, and if the numbers don't add up, then there's something wrong. So what do I mean they don't want to believe? Well, let me put to you a few simple facts, okay? You are aware that the Bible has prophecies. And what is the mathematical probability of those prophecies coming true that have been pronounced hundreds of years, and in some cases even several thousands of years in advance? Mathematically speaking, of course. And what do I do with the idea, okay, that the whole Bible is written in a mathematical code called gematria, including the New Testament, by the way, and proves that only one person could write the Bible. One personage, okay? Though he may have had many secretaries, okay? Of course, I'm talking about the Lord God. And they wrote as they were given the utterances. And so they wrote in the Hebrew and in the Greek, two mathematical languages. Okay? What do you do when the math doesn't lie? And if I look at history, we got only two real manuscripts concerning Alexander the Great. Got all sorts of books. We're talking about actual manuscripts. Okay? And yet, he's history. And there's more than 24,000 New Testament manuscripts and just thousands upon thousands of Old Testament manuscripts. How come these are not history? The numbers don't lie. These were real. But I think we've come to such a point in our society that we're so science-oriented, and yet we violate the very rules of science. See, the rule of science says it can't be true unless it can be repeated and proven. So it's like, evolution. You can't prove evolution unless you can start somewhere and create something and watch it evolve. It doesn't work. I'm frustrated because I think people don't want truth anymore. May it be in politics or in life, in business. They want what they want. Now, I am being frustrated this morning, and I'm telling it to you. I got to vent somewhere, right? Here's my coffee. Thank you, Sherry. I have my cookie. Thank you, Jay Lee, Bob the Builder. By the way, Jay Lee and Bob the Builder are a couple. But I haven't ever told you that. Yes. That makes it just a little bit better today. That and my coffee. And of course, you. I think people don't want to hear the facts or the truth. I'm going to tell you why. Because if it doesn't fit with their lifestyle, they ignore it. So, science does its best to ignore God. I saw an article about the rings of Saturn. Now they think they're billions of years old instead of millions of years old. Well, they come up with the numbers. What's it based on? Where is the science in that? I think they try to keep stretching out further and further. So they cut God out of the creation picture. I don't know how God does his timing. I do know that for every creation, there must be a creator. Take your body for an example. You got your genome codes, okay, you got your helixes. What's the mathematical probability of even your gene structure supporting life? What's less, everything thing that lives has a gene code. What's the mathematical probability from one species to another, to another, to another, to another, to another? Two things can't lie: God and math. So I'm frustrated. In a sense, I think people prefer, or they so choose, to listen to falsehoods. It's like that stupid thing, X, 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 Y. That's all there is. There's nothing in between, except a rare, extremely rare genetic misfunction. No. And, I just, the stupid part. And ladies, why do we permit men to participate in women's sports? They might grow out the hair and wear fingernail polish, but it doesn't really make them a woman. All right. Yeah, I might as well get all my frustration out and even run the risk of being canceled here on YouTube or on Facebook. The math doesn't lie. People do. The math doesn't. And people will attempt to manipulate facts, but the math cannot be manipulated unless you're lying. Remember the thing called fuzzy math? Yeah, that was fuzzy. I think that was a Bill Clinton thing. But when it comes to the Bible, I confess, I believe from page 1 to the very end. I believe them. Don't understand them all, but I believe them. I don't need understanding on everything to hold the fact that it's true. Now, I want to tell you, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. But facts, true facts, makes faith easier. See, if I can believe God for A, B, C, and D, I will trust Him for E, F, and G. I will. You see, because He has a proven track record. Proven. And once again, the math doesn't lie. So, my dear friends, during this Christmas season, ask yourself, is it real or is it fairy tale? Is it fake, or did God really do something miraculous when He brought His Son among us? No, I don't think it was in December. I think it was in October. But I don't care. He's here and now. When it comes to miracles, for an example, what do you do with the hundreds of thousands of proclaimed miracles, globally speaking? What do? Do you tell those hundreds of thousands of people it never happened? Do you try to explain it away? I remember, it must have been 1976. There was a research done by the Roman Catholic Church on 100 people that were said to have been risen from the dead. Resurrected. And you know what they found? 94 of them were not true. But what about the other 6? What do you do with the 6 that are not arguable? You have to proclaim there are miracles. I got news for you. There's no Christmas at Macy's. There's no Christmas at Walmart. There's no Christmas at Target. There's no Hanukkah at Walmart. There's no Hanukkah at Target. There's no Hanukkah at Macy's. Only thing that matters is that there's these things within us that we hold to be fact. Notice I didn't say true. The fact implies truth. Yeah, I'm frustrated today. So as you go through this season, and you see all the Rudolphs and the Santa Clauses and the Jack Frost and St. Nicholas and yada, 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 yada. Ask yourself, where's the math? Is this true? In anything, is it true? Now, I'm going to give myself this much space, just this much space, to believe that I don't know everything. That's right. I don't know everything. But I trust him who has never failed in my research. I can say, God, why? He may or may not answer. But I can look at all the things he's put in front of me. You know, Romans is an interesting book, especially chapter 1. It talks about the whole world sees the sun, the moon, and the stars. They see the mountains. They see the creation. And because they see these created things, there is no excuse. No excuse. And that's an amazing thing to be told you have no excuse. And believing that God is. You know. But I think we ignore truth and the facts in order to satisfy our own desires. Okay, that child, the embryo, the fetus, the baby in the womb is a person. It's not a tumor. You know, and the old lady down the street who's just getting by, some people think, oh, we would be better off if she wasn't sucking down our taxes and living on welfare. Well, guess what? She paid her dues. You haven't yet. You know, the math. Kindness produces a more eternal effect than bitterness and anger. And that's a fact. The world is changed by acts of kindness. It's tested by acts of anger and lies. So this season, buy into the truth, the facts. God has sent his only Son into the world, and whoever believes shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So, tomorrow, we have our Wake Up program, and it's going to be on the Bible, the things I got wrong. Yes, I will confess. Rabbi Rittenhouse will confess. Casey Hirsch will confess the things that we blew it when we first started to believe and found out it wasn't quite what we thought it was. So, it'll be an interesting program. So plan on joining us tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the Bible, the things I got wrong. All right? Now, next is don't forget the buttons. Hit those buttons. Bam, bam, bam. All right? And I'll try not to be whiny and grumbly tomorrow. But today, I shall grumble. Work with me, folks. So here I am, trying to be obedient, offering you God's appointed blessing, appointed for you. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you, lift up his countenance to you, and may give you peace in Yeshua's name. Dear friends, only two things cannot lie: God and math. And by his grace, we will see you tomorrow, if it pleases him.